Hi. So I wanted to do a little video about bad advice and how it only takes like one piece of bad advice that can have like such a detrimental effect on our businesses. So starting a business and running a small business is so hard. So we look to the people, that we value their feedback. When we're thinking about new things and we're thinking about ideas, we look to the people that we trust for their feedback. But if they're having a bad day or they're in their own stuff and they fire something back to you, and criticize it or give you bad advice, and then you don't take that action in your business, and actually, by doing that thing, it could help move your business along. But because you've taken that advice, you don't do it. And the reason I'm doing this video is I went through something like this week. So I had a coaching session with my coach, and I've been like really struggling with something like marketing, basically, like online, being online, being visible online. I've got an accountancy background. So for the last 12 years of running my business, I've been so lucky. The majority of my business has come from word of mouth. So I've never had to go on social media. I've never really used social media personally either. I just didn't have to be visible. Everyone came to me. And then add into that, I'm a massive introvert. I was quite happy. I just worked for everyone. I'm really good at the doing. So I was saying to my coach, like, this is what I'm struggling with. And I was saying to him as well, why is it that it's so easy to help other people on their businesses, but why am I struggling so much? This is such a minor thing. Like, why am I in my head about this? And I was saying to him as well, like, for the last 12 years, I've worked with businesses to help them like improve their operations and grow their business. Some of the businesses I've worked with were in like serious financial trouble when I started working with them. And then by the time I left, they were flying. So why am I struggling, to sell, to like market and talk about that and basically sell myself? And that's and my coach said to me, actually, he's like, you should share this because you're not the only person that's going through this. So anyway, so I was like, okay, so I wrote a post out, like a really, vulnerable post, basically saying, like, why, like everything I've just said, like, why is it so hard for us to put ourselves out there? And it's easy, isn't it, to think that you see everyone else putting these posts out and like doing videos, and you think, oh, it's so easy for them. They don't have any of the doubt niggles that I have. When actually, most of us have these doubt niggles. We have our own doubt niggles that come up about, being judged, or, you put yourself out there and people aren't going to like what you're doing. But actually, they're not the people that, you want to help. They're not the people you want to work with anyway. So why is it even a thing? But it is a thing when you're in that space. So back to the bad advice. So anyway, so I wrote this post out talking about that, and then I shared it with 3 people. So 2 of the people work in businesses, but they're at like director level. And then I also sent it to my friend who's setting up their own business at the moment. They're in like the startup stages, and they're in their stuff. Like they're in their head, like they're in their own stuff. So 2 of the people came back to me and they were like, wow, you were like really honest and actually like really vulnerable in that. Like, that must have been such a tough coaching session. Like, are you all right? And then my friend who's in their stuff came back and was really critical about that post. Saying, oh, I don't even know why you would put that out there. Like, why you don't need to share everything that you're going through. How's that going to make you look, sharing that you're struggling with that? You're a business coach. And you weren't very convincing either. I was like, wow, well, wasn't really trying to be convincing. You know, this is about me, like no one else. This is about what I'm going through. I'm not trying to convince myself I'm going through this. This is what I'm actually living at the moment. And the reason I wanted to share that is, do you know what? Running a small business is a really lonely place. And it's so easy, you know, like I was saying, it's like look at other people and think like they've got it all together, and, you know, they don't have any doubt niggles, like they don't have any of that stuff that comes up. Like we're the only person going through this. So by me sharing that with, like, you know, if it just helps like one person know that, you know what, they're not the only person going through that, great. And also as well, you know, I want to be honest, like, listen, you know, it's doing videos and being on social media, you know, you build it up. Like I'm opening myself up to judgment, like, and also I don't have like this online person who I am online, and then I'm another person in my life. So if my online person gets judged, well, it doesn't matter because that's not really me. Like this is who I am online and in my real life as well. Now, I've thought about doing this video. I've been back and forth about, do I just scrap this idea, like forget it, you know, like don't bother doing it? Because that one piece of bad advice, it's been on my mind. And the thing is, I don't coach in marketing. I don't train in marketing. Marketing isn't where my experience is. I coach on like business planning and you know, the financial goal setting and forecasting side of the business. And that's where I've helped businesses before. That's what I use my experience in my coaching. Marketing's not my thing. So when it comes to me marketing myself and being online, I go through exactly the same struggles as other small businesses. And I work with small businesses, so I know I'm not the only one having these doubt niggles. But I nearly listened to that bad advice, even knowing, do you know what? Like that was nothing to do with me. Something I wrote triggered how they were feeling, and their stuff, and they projected that on to me. But if I'd listened to that, I wouldn't be doing this video now. And a lot of stuff I've you know, people have said to me in the past, if I'd listened to that, I wouldn't be coaching now. I never would have set, you know, my first business up, because it's so easy for people to project their fears onto you when you're doing something that actually scares the daylights out of them, because they'd never be able to do it. So they're coming from a good place because they're trying to keep you safe, because they're like, oh no, don't do that, when actually that's bad advice. That's them, it's not you. So I wanted to share this video because, do you know what, if one person watches this and they're going through that, you know, fear, being online, you know, being visible online, are you going to be judged, all that stuff that comes up, and you now know, do you know what, you're not the only person that's going through this. And if we just sit in that uncomfortableness and name the monster, like be honest about how, okay, like it's uncomfortable, but if I'm serious about moving my business forward, I know I need to take this action. So I'm just going to push my boundaries just a little bit every day. Just one step, one step, one step. Just keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. What's difficult now, you know, in 12 months' time, I'm not even going to be going through this because I will work through it. So anyway, so I wanted to, that's why I wanted to jump on and do this video, because not all of the advice you're going to be given is going to be good advice. And sometimes if someone's overly critical about what you're doing, just take a step back and look at, do you know what, has that actually got anything to do with what I'm doing? Or is that just them? They're in their stuff and that's okay, but I'm not going to let that bad advice stop me from taking the action I know I need to take in my business and getting out there and connecting with the people that you know you can help in your business. So I'm going to leave you there, and I'll see you soon.